of the book. So in the book, let's begin. Let's begin. The King Fyz Perspective Epic Book Club is in full effect. We're talking about the truth about cheating is T15 in the book, page like 141. But basically, in our book, I say, uh, can a person that loves you actually cheat on you? Like, do you think a person that loves you can cheat on you and still love you? Because in the book, I say, a person that cheats on you can actually love you. What you think? Or do you think they need to have full commitment and no temptation should be able to break them? What you think? Virgo? Do you think someone that loves you could cheat on you? Or do you think that's not love?
That's not love.
That's not love? All right. So you say that's not love. What you say, Trini? All right, so you don't think it's love either? All right, so neither one of y'all think that's love. I think it's like a 95% love. Like that person loves you, but not to the 100% that they wouldn't do nothing like that. But they can still love you, just not to the level that they wouldn't do something like that. Um, I would say, and the next question that arises is, um, is withholding the truth just as damaging as cheating itself? Or is lying to protect someone's feelings justified in a relationship? So you think withholding the truth?
No, that's not. That's not justifiable at all.
You say it's no justifying the lying or the withholding of information. So then if you're in a relationship with somebody, it shouldn't be nothing held back. So if somebody like you at work and one of your male coworkers buy you lunch or something, is that something you go home and tell your boyfriend that they bought you lunch, or you just keep that to yourself and keep it pushing? If y'all like plutonic, it was just a friendly random thing. Is you bringing that up, or are you not saying nothing?
I'm telling him.
You telling him?
I mean, if it was an innocent lunch, ain't nothing that needs to be kept a secret from
Thank
him.
you. Welcome.
I'm telling him.
Got you. That's good because a lot of people aren't transparent in relationships. Like if somebody buys somebody dinner or lunch or something and they not, and it's plutonic. Some people won't tell their mate that they bought it because they're like, well, it was plutonic. I don't like this person, so it ain't that deep. They just bought me lunch, so I ain't really gonna share that type of thing with that person. I feel like what's going on with you, Jax, but also I feel like if you have a person that's going to respond all crazy and erratic, you may be unnecessarily causing an issue because that person might come through and beat your coworker up for no reason, and that person was just buying you lunch real quick and it didn't like mean anything by that. Yeah. What's up, Vlad TV? What's popping? You say then you didn't need to be in a relationship. Got you. So you believe full transparency no matter what it is, no matter what, you gonna tell that person, even if it's something that might not necessarily matter that much, but you're gonna be straight up with it. Got you. So you like if you're gonna do that, you might as well be single. So they feel like if you're gonna keep any type of secret, you should be single and shouldn't think you thinking, and you should if you're gonna keep any type of secret, then you shouldn't be in a relationship. You need to be transparent about it all. So that's what they think. Me personally, I feel like if it's something that will affect you or something that you're going to discover that's going to have an adverse effect or something, then yeah. But if it's a simple thing that I know you're going to overreact about, that I know is not nothing and would never turn into nothing, and it's not worth the discussion, then no, honestly, I'm not. I probably wouldn't tell you that. Now, if it's something that I feel like somebody coming on to me or something like that, or I like somebody, then yeah, I'm gonna disclose something like that, a little more intricate detail or whatever. Yeah. Don't want nothing that don't want you. That's a good statement. It's a good statement. The next question that arises from that is, if your partner cheats, but you decide to stay, is it a good idea for you to never ask the details, or is that just holding back unresolved, unresolved trauma or whatever? Like, should you ask the details of what's going on, or should you just be like, if you cheated, cool, you know, what caused it, but not necessarily ask about whether they hit it from the back or anything like that? Oh, you wouldn't. Oh, yeah. She said she wouldn't stay to begin with, like at all. Like that's not even an option. You cheat, it's a wrap. She say no second chances. Oh, so you think if you stay there, that's self betrayal. Got you. I feel like if you stay, that could. I mean, it's a very strong possibility it's going to happen again if you stay. Now, it is a small few people that really do change, and that do be the wake up call, and they never do it again. But it's going to be really hard for you to trust that they'll never do it again. And if you get the opinion, you're definitely, the details, you're definitely going to not believe them and be able to get over it. I can almost promise that. Also, in the book, I say, you kind of have to act like you forgave him even if you didn't, because if you don't, it's going to make the situation worse. Does and that's what I say in the book. But I would say, does pretending to trust someone become necessary survival in a broken relationship, or is it just another self betrayal? Like if you pretend that you got over it, but you really
So,
didn't.
self-betrayal.
Self betrayal. All right. What you say, Trina? You say self betrayal too, or do you think that's kind of necessary? Because you know how it is when somebody judge you on something that you did that you're not doing no more, and even though you're not doing it, they still judging you for doing something that you didn't do. Hey, welcome in, welcome in. You can jump up on the panel if you want to get in the conversation. Right now, we're talking about the Truth About Cheating chapter, and right now, the question on the line is coming from the portion in the book where I say, if somebody cheats on you or whatever, pretending as if you forgive them, even if you don't, do you think that's a bad thing or a good thing? Like, do you think that's necessary uh, in a broken relationship, or do you think it's self betrayal? Like, do you think you're betraying yourself by even pretending to forgive the person, even if you don't? Because if you don't, it's like, damn, you keep judging me on something that I'm no longer doing. They're kind of not gonna fix the problem. They're gonna start being on some should have cheated mode. If that's the case, 9 times out of 10, that's what the person's gonna start getting on, and they're gonna be in that type of mode. And I think it's not the mode you want them in. You kind of want them to, get the rope, hang themselves, and all that, so you can be free if necessary. If you got to dip next time they try some shit. What you think? You agree with that, CF, or what? Yeah, I'm listening. Speak. You park there on mute. Keep typing in the
But
comments.
would you be open to discuss what made you think that it was okay to cheat in the first place?
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
would you tell your partner like what led to you cheating, or
Hell yeah. That's what I feel like is the most. That's what I feel like you
like
should be
what
doing.
absolutely insecure feeling?
Yeah.
Because we're a lot of times folks get caught up on the action, but not necessarily what led to it. So I'm thinking it's not necessarily an omission, but if you know the kind of partner that you have and you know they're gonna overreact or blow it out of proportion, then yeah, I get it. But then it's also you have to, really, I would say, take ownership of what you did. But then it's just like I think I think when it comes down to things like that, if your partner wants to know like why, just tell them.
Yeah, I feel like if they ask why, yeah, but I would say that's a bad idea to ask why, because I feel like not ask why. Sorry about that. It's a good idea to ask why, but what and the activity is a very bad idea, because I feel like if they say I did it every time I went to the laundromat, you ain't never gonna trust them going to the laundromat again. And every time you hear laundromat, you're gonna think about them giving somebody a head or something crazy. So it's just like, don't torture yourself with those kind of details. You ain't gonna be able to get over it. Like I feel like the only way to get over it is to accept the fact that they did something. They're not gonna tell you the full total truth anyway. So no matter what they say, it's gonna be some details left out. So you asking them details is really not going to clarify anything because nobody's going to be like, yeah, I hit it from the back, then I turned it around, and then this and that, or how long. And nobody's going to break down the detail that you're going to probably want to go into. So you might as well just leave it at the surface. When did it happen? Why did it happen? Then you could fix it. Like, because if you ain't going to work it out, then now you just filling your head with unnecessary
But
shit.
no,
I'm listening. Go ahead.
not necessarily the details of like how and but just like your why.
Yeah, the
Like
why.
the reason as to why. Was it like a conversation that was like had like some unresolved feelings for you, or is it like really a character flaw, or is it like something behavioral? It has to be something because I've because you I already told you about my theory about you know there's always something that there's always a conversation that you should have with your partner before
Uh-huh.
you think like it's okay to cheat. But if you know what your partner is going to do, or as far as how your partner is going to react, then you have to really look at yourself as far as why you chose that person, because really that person is a reflection of you.
Exactly.
And I don't think my theory will actually fit this whole thing because I explained to you what my theory was, and I'm still thinking like if it's like 3, 5 relationships down the line and you're still doing the same repetitive pattern, then there's something behavioral.
Yeah, yeah. Because at
You
that
know,
point, you
like it's
just got an
some
issue.
kind of like mental cycle or something.
Exactly. Because it definitely will be the detail. Because it could have been the person was lonely, or you wasn't paying attention, or they wanted to go out and you don't like the party, and they want to party. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to find out what, so you can, if you want to fix it, you can fix it. Because if you don't find out what, you ain't never gonna be able to fix it. Appreciate you, appreciate you. If you don't find out what, you're gonna be back in the same cycle of the person keep doing what they doing. What's going on, Em? You gotta you got anything to say on that topic we just said? All right, he doing something. All right, so we're gonna go in box four. You got something you wanted to say on the topic? If not, I'm going to the next question.
No, you can proceed.
Okay, all right. So the next question is, um, should you ask your partner to be honest about their cheating, if their reaction might scare them out of ever saying it again? Like if you ask them, you know your response going to scare them so bad they ain't never gonna tell you no shit like that again. Um, like should you tell them or not tell them? Or I mean, should you ask or not ask? You still want to ask? Virgo says she want to ask. Virgo want to ask, so she got a reason to get rid of that
You should
motherfucker.
still ask.
You still
I
ask?
feel like that goes both ways
Uh huh.
because if you really want to know how your partner feels,
Uh huh.
or if you care about your significant other's feelings,
Uh huh.
and and you really want to be open
Mm-hmm.
towards actually having some kind of emotional growth and change,
Uh huh.
then I feel that when it comes down to being transparent, not so much honesty, because honesty is one thing, but transparency is something completely different because you're being like forthright in a way.
Yeah.
But I just feel like when it comes down to feel about when your partner overreacts or when you're trying to be open and really just explain certain things and emotionally they can't handle certain things, that's a conversation that you can have with your partner. Like, babe, I want to be honest with you, but sometimes you blow things out of the water, and not only do I not like it, it puts me in the space to think like, why am I with you? Because it's like we have to ask ourselves these kinds of questions. So it's something that's it's deep. It's deep.
Yeah. And I feel like transparency is important, but I kind of also feel like complete transparency is TMI considering the personality you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like traditionally, yeah, you're supposed to be able to say anything to your partner. Your partner is supposed to be able to handle you saying, "Damn, shorty got a fat ass," and be cool with it without saying, "Oh, you want her or nothing." She should understand you and know and trust that you just this is she see the same thing you see, so she don't have an issue with it. But if you with somebody that's a little insecure on some other stuff, if you be honest with her and say, "Hey, that girl got a fat butt," or "That look nice," you in the whole situation.
Physical attributes are physical attributes, but if you know that your partner is insecure about certain things and you're willing to cater to at least have her feel secure while that person is with you, that's you as a man. Your partner has to really look into why they feel insecure about certain attributes on another person that they don't necessarily have control over. Because we have eyes, we're going to see a lot of different things. I've seen plenty of women with asses bigger than mine, and it's just like, God damn. And I've seen a lot of men with, like, buff chests and muscles and stuff, and it's just like, Jesus Christ. But then it's like, if I know my partner will feel a kind of way, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times I would keep my comments to myself sometimes. But then it's just the fact of
You went. Is that me or you?
and you comment on their body parts and they feel away,
Uh-huh.
then you can give a certain amount of grace because that is your partner. But you also have to look at it as you as a person. You can't put that on your partner to not look at other people. That's not fair.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
So you saying that you
Or maybe
saying
that's just me.
so
I
you
don't know.
saying a man should be able to say if he see a nice body, he should be able to comment without you getting upset.
I mean,
That's transparency, and this is what I mean by
that's
the
that person's
T.
body.
This is what I mean about the TMI part, because some women can't handle that. Like once they cool with
I
want to know
mean, that's
everything,
that
but
person's body. By me commenting and saying, "Oh, so and so got a," you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's not. Well, that's just me. Like, that's something that I don't necessarily have any real control over when you think about it. But then it's like I'm not gonna. We can have those kind of conversations where it's like, babe, I would appreciate it if I would you to just be respectful. I'm kind of like, you can't just force,
thank you, thank you.
not to not look at people. Like, that's, to me, that's crazy. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it is like so.
Now, if your partner feel like that's a disrespect thing, that's something different. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? I still feel like a lot of us as women, we really need to just unpack and figure out our emotional baggage before we drag that suitcase with no wheels and bring it over into the next relationship. Make it seem like, oh, I can make my man behave and he ain't gonna look at no other bitch. No.
Yeah, true, true, true.
Just
And
stop doing that.
and now the line that you don't cross, Virgo. What you mean by it's a line that you don't cross? Because you know what I find when I had these type of questions that people will kind of answer the question but not answer the question direct and still never stay on one side or the other after they stand their ground. It's like if you say complete transparency, but then don't say it's okay for him to say he liked what he see, that's not complete transparency, which means you agree that there is a level that's TMI to where you maybe shouldn't be disclosing all that because you might either hurt their feelings or whatever. You know what I mean? And I feel like across the board, people want transparency, but they don't want the TMI part of transparency. Honestly, is what I feel like. But you saying you do want full transparency. If you see something you like, you rather him just say, "Hey, babe, that look nice over there," or would you rather him pretend like he don't see it and not be transparent with what he's thinking?
I mean, ass is ass.
All right, so you
And
cool
if
with
it
it.
looks nice and it looks nice.
All right, so you cool with it. So you're a person that So you're a person.
Tell me it look nice.
Yeah.
I'm liable to say, you know what you right, it do look good. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's just me. Like,
Yeah, and that's how I
I'm
think it
not
should be.
saying that, you know, you should just blatantly like ignore, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it to where if you know your partner's going to feel a way, and to just save yourself from an argument down, yeah, just to have respect for your partner, like, you know, have some discipline, some self-discipline, and some kind of like, you know, some kind of discretion, and keep that to yourself. But then it's like if you know your partner's open like that, and you could be like, babe, look at that fat ass. Like, damn, that ass is fat. Then that's something else. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And so we'll
Yeah, it just depends on who you're dealing with. You got to know your partner and know what is acceptable and what isn't.
exactly. And
Yeah, that takes time to learn as well, but
yeah,
I don't see anything wrong with it.
yeah. Like I feel like you should.
Transparency, be open.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best thing because at least you know what your mate likes.
About it, you know. Because if I see a fat behind, I'll be like, well, god damn, her ass bigger than mine. Shall see? Told you. Look at it. Like, I'm going to point it out.
Like, because someone going to point it out before you see it, like, to show you, like, hey, and I like that. That actually kind of turns me on, a woman to be confident enough to be like, oh, babe, that's a nice body or whatever. Because it's like, that's letting me know, you know, there ain't no competition to you, no matter what it looked like. And you looking at it, you know it looked nice. So you can't expect me not to look at it. I know it looked good. You a girl too, and you like it. So how you mad at me for liking what you can see that looks good? I never understood that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you could like something, but don't be like, oh damn, look at her ass.
So
that's a nice ass.
So don't be transparent. That's my point. Don't be transparent. That's what you're saying.
Seriously, it's the tone and delivery. You can say, oh yes, you got a cute behind. That's nice, but don't go all out.
Got you. Don't be all wildin'.
Oh, she got a fat ass. Look at that fat ass. I'm like, no.
Got you.
There's a difference.
What's up,
Tone
Ashley?
and delivery.
Definitely. What's up, baby? What's up, man? Yeah. Tone and delivery. Got you. So, baby doll equity. What we talking about right now is we talking about full transparency in a relationship, and like if a man see a woman with a fat ass, do women want him to be honest about what he see and be fully transparent, or pretend like he don't see it even though everybody know it look nice and shit? So I was just trying to figure out what their opinion on it was, and I think everybody wants limitation to the transparency. Nobody wants full transparency because that I don't.
I do, but you just can't be like over.
Got you.
Don't do too much.
Got you. You saying don't be extreme about it. Like, oh shit, you can say, babe, that ass look nice, but don't be all drooling and acting crazy about it.
Exactly.
Got you. All right, cool. So we on the same page with that. So the next question is, as far as like, is emotional control a sign of maturity, or is it self manipulation of your emotions? Like being able to control your emotions when you're feeling some type of way. Is that maturity, or is you just manipulating your emotions?
Wait, repeat the question? Hold on. What?
Is emotional control in a relationship a sign of maturity, you being mature, that you can control your emotions? Or is it just you just manipulating your emotions in an unhealthy way, basically?
Both.
Both? All right, Trini, you agree that it's both, or what you think?
Both. I would have to say that that's a sign of emotional maturity, because in order to grow with your partner, you have to give them a space to talk, and you have to be the one to listen. And like, I was raised by older Southern folks, and I usually was told back when I was younger, listen and silent is the same word. So in order for you to listen, you really have to be silent. You can't say that you're listening to someone and you're talking the same time that they talking, because not only are you not hearing what they saying, you're not really listening to them to understand. And if you're giving them your full attention while they're talking, you don't know what kind of day they could have had, or they really could need to vent or let something off their chest. Like, when you really take the time and give that space to your partner, that opens more trust and more value in the relationship than for someone to feel like, you know, he act like he listen to me, but he don't give a damn, and da 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 da. When he can actually repeat every word that you said verbatim, then you're gonna feel away. I'm just looking at it like, when you're mature about something and you want to give that space to your partner because you know not only does your partner need it, it should be give and take, then that's a sign of emotional maturity.
Exactly.
Can't be both. I don't feel like it can be. Because if you feel a way about a certain thing, then you have to be mature enough to bring that up to your partner. You can't just hold that inside and then just lash out like at like a completely wrong time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So I definitely do feel like it's emotional maturity, just because you had these emotions for a lot of years, and you should be able to control them. Even though, I mean, technically you are, manipulating your emotions, but it's not a negative thing. So it's not a bad thing of you controlling your emotions in that way. I think it's very healthy to understand and be able to control your emotions in any situation. What you think, CF? What you think, Baby Doll? Just want to make sure everybody get a chance to speak if they got something.
Yeah, it shows that you have a high emotional IQ when you're able to control your emotions in various situations. Yeah. It's all about growing. And when we grow with age, we should also grow in emotional intelligence. I mean, it just is what it is. Exactly. Not everybody does. However, we should. Yeah. And there are certain things that you learn over the years on how you need to assess situations, looking at various people's behaviors and how they're responding to things. So that makes you more aware and cognizant of what people are dealing with and how you should deal with their emotions. So, yes.
Exactly.
I don't think it's manipulation. It's definitely maturity.
Got you. So it's clear we agree that it's that is it. We understand that it is maturity, and in that maturity, mastering the art of manipulating your emotions is a actual good thing and not a negative thing. It's not a bad thing to manipulate your emotions in that way. The next question is, does staying with a cheater mean you have to allow yourself to become vulnerable and be hurt again, or are you just setting yourself up for the repeat of betrayal? Like, do you think you're just setting yourself up to be betrayed again, or do you think you just gotta allow yourself to be vulnerable, and that's what you're doing? It's just taking another chance.
Yeah, that's a crock of bullshit, because if you stay with a cheater, you're just betraying yourself, because you would never look at that person the same again as it was before you found out that that person cheated on you. And if you feel like, oh, well, maybe I should give him a chance and maybe he'll change, then mind you, these are just my personal feelings. Because I've grown to
My
know,
bad, we won that PK. Go ahead.
I've grown to know that if you really care about somebody and you care about their feelings, there would be more value in having conversation and really understanding boundaries and what's respectful and what's going to work and what's not going to work, than to feel like you could just do something behind your partner's back and they're not going to find out. To me, that's dumb. Because if you cheat on me and you know that that person was just a filler for the moment and not necessarily anything substantial, but you want to stay with me because I'm not only substantial, but I've provide all of these other things, maybe like 2 areas I probably miss out on, then if I go out and I do the same thing, not so much in like the same, and find a person that's like the same way, But if I do the same action that you did, you're not going to like that. And you're going to carry that narrative on to the next person. And yeah, and I left because no, we both cheated on each other. Like I tried to get my lick back because you thought I was going to find out. It just turns messy. But if you stay, then that's really a form of self betrayal because you're hoping that that person to change and you accepted the fact that they did that and you didn't really hold no consequences for them doing that. You just stayed. Like, what's the consequence of them, going out and find somebody new? If that's someone that you want to be with, go be with them. You ain't gotta worry about me. And that ain't nothing really salty. It's just the fact that you can't do something like that and then expect for me to be real because you wasn't real to me first. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, that makes sense. And what's funny? It does. And as soon as I'm done, by all means, anybody that got something they want to say on the topic, go ahead and jump in. I want to make sure everybody get a chance. But I do feel like once you cheat on somebody or somebody cheats on you, definitely relationship gets damaged, and yeah, you can't really see them in that same like again like that amazing. This person would never hurt me or whatever. It's almost like a you don't know this person no more. It's almost like a how didn't I know type thing. Like it's like it goes into like now you don't know who you thought you knew. A person that was so familiar to you they they're a stranger due to the fact that they did what they did. Now you kind of see them as you don't know them anymore because they did that. Um, how you feel about that? What you think?
Like my grandma used to tell me, don't do anything you don't want me doing. So if you're going to be out here in these streets, literally doing whatever, and you think that I'm not going to find out the same thing, not only do I know that you're going to feel a kind of way, I'm not even going to care because you didn't care about me. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you're not caring about what you're bringing home to me or to our household as far as like the energy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to have conversations to where you're pointing out your partner's like flaws and inconsistencies, but it's also a good space to actually grow and actually have them know that it's not a space to, tear each other down. It's a space to build each other up. But if you just skip that altogether and go to a whole nother person, it's and you think that you're avoiding like the whole conversation of trust and growth than to just deal with a whole nother person and have them give them the same promises that you're supposed to like have. Like it's a lot.
You just say like, look, once you do that, you done damage the whole everything. What y'all think? Anybody else got an opinion on that?
What's that last part?
Huh? So I said we was just discussing um about emotional manipulation and all that, but then we was talking about being with somebody that cheated on you, like staying with them. Are you betraying yourself by staying with them? Like, are you just allowing yourself to be vulnerable to give another shot, or are you just betraying yourself because you know they're gonna do it again?
No, you actually betraying yourself.
Got you. That's the same thing she was saying.
Like once you cheat on a motherfucker and they accept you back, you're not gonna stop cheating.
Well, because you feel like it ain't gonna be no consequence.
Trying to do that, you ain't gonna respect yourself, and you ain't gonna leave my ass. So you're done.
And so, what you think about so what you think about a person that cheats and then you break up with them, and then years down the line, y'all run into each other again? Is that a spin the block scenario? If you feel like that person improved, or is it like, nah, once you've done it, it's over? What you think? You think they the same person? What you think?
Somebody else got to speak. I'll keep it on talking.
I'm not gonna take you back. I'm not gonna take you back. I'm trying to jump in there with you, love. Um, that's a hard one. Because I've been on the receiving end. And stayed. But I went through cycle. There was a time where I was like, you're never going to change. You're always going to be the same person. However, if you have two people that are willing to try and make the modifications, not to say that whatever happened and transpired was not fucked up, but if you all are willing to put in the work, anything is possible. Literally, like, will there still be moments where you're like, ooh, that particular action reminded me of this situation? Yes, there will be. However, because you know what you've gone through in the past, you should have learned. And you should be able to go to that person and say, you know what? That right there, that right there is not gonna work. So it takes a whole hell of a lot more communication.
Yeah.
But it is possible. Do I think it's betrayal to myself for staying? No. I believe it was me being vulnerable, or both of us being vulnerable. Because a lot of times, and this is me digging further into something, but I'm going to stop after this. We have to remember that a lot of times we attract what we are. Mm-hmm. So if there's brokenness in us, we're going to attract brokenness, right? Mm-hmm. So that does not mean that the brokenness I'm attracting is going to be exactly what I'm broken in. I'm going to just attract somebody that's broken, has been hurt, has been misused, mistreated. And I have to have some type of understanding and consideration that they may not really know. Even though you know it's wrong, you may not 100% understand that what you're doing wasn't the right example to be set for you.
Facts. I agree.
I like all that she said. I just don't agree with the self-betrayal part, because if you know, I get the universe will give you who you are, not what you need. I get all of that. But when you've come to a certain point in your life, and these are just my feelings and from my life experience, if you know that you've grown past a certain point. All right, what we doing over here? Like,
you can't play music.
If you know that you've grown past with the music and shit, like, if you know that you're beyond a lot of that and you're beyond this person's actions, and I get it, we want to give our partner grace and we want to be understanding, but we can't be understanding to the point where we're allowing a lot of these actions to go on with no kind of transgressions or any kind of consequences or nothing like that. And then if you just stay, they'll just feel like, well, shit, I could just do any old thing to her. Like, she ain't gonna go nowhere. But then when you actually do leave, you're the one that's wrong. That's the thing that I don't necessarily like. As if you're with someone, the same respect that you want them to have for you, you have to have that kind of respect for yourself. But if they don't have any self-respect, that's where all of that other stuff comes in. And I understand we're supposed to give each other grace and stuff like that. But if you really don't want to be with a person, you can't just consistently continue to be stepping outside of the relationship, but you want that person to be loyal because you're not being loyal to them. Like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's true. Now, at 46, would I make the same decision that was made over 10, 12 years ago? No.
Of course
not. Why? So it turned out bad when you tried it again. The spin the block didn't work.
See the signs.
No. We're still together.
Oh, all right.
We're still together.
Oh, then
Still married. Still toughing it out, thugging it out. But we have better communication now.
Yeah, and see, you are an example of what I was explaining. That is possible. It's possible. I'm pretty sure it was
So a
hard, but it's
marriage is
possible.
different because with a marriage, that's you, your partner, and God, and that's a covenant.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then when it comes to a covenant, and you can't necessarily address your partner about certain things, you should be able to get on your knees and go to God and pray to Him, because
Most definitely.
while you don't necessarily have that
What's up,
space
Lil?
to be, with to talk to your partner about certain transgressions that they did and stuff like that, you should be able to go to God and be like, give me the strength to actually, to withstand, because I know this is just something that he did, but I know in my heart of hearts that he's better than this. But also he has to go to God too. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be one partner praying and the other one out there just philandering. You know what I'm saying?
Just
That's
doing
why
anything.
I feel like when it comes to relationships taking that next step to being married, I do believe in premarital counseling. I believe in a lot of therapy. I believe in a lot of emotional exercises and actually learning different things about your partner. But when it comes to marriage and when it comes to protecting the covenant, to me that's different, because once you step outside the covenant and you bring something else in that wasn't a part of you and your union with God in the first place, and that partner ain't even trying to even acknowledge, let alone rectify, to me that's something that I me personally I can't condone, because I was married too and I had a partner that didn't want to communicate about nothing, didn't want to really talk about nothing. But when it comes down to him needing something from me, he wanted me to be all like 30 toes down and just there. And it's just like, once I started returning that same energy, it's just like, at the end of the day, it's not even so much being in the same page or the same chapter. We're not even in the same book.
Everything
So
changed.
it has to be, not only is this is what it is, I can't be the person that's honoring my heart and honoring my faith, and you're just out there just doing whatever because you never learned the effect of consequences for your actions. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And protecting the covenant is something completely different. Relationships, this is where you grow and where you learn, and this where you're supposed to grow and learn. But when it comes to marriage, certain things have to be nipped in the bud for real, because you're going to want somebody to at least be faithful to you. But you also have to look at, like, are you faithful to you? Do you trust you? You know what I'm
A lot
saying?
of us don't
And
trust
if you
ourselves.
asking yourself these questions and it don't feel right, then you have a lot of work to do emotionally.
Yeah.
That's just my take on it. I'm not even going to be on no whole get on my soapbox type shit. I'm not going to do that. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
You good, man.
Yeah, I think y'all both said some really good points, and you are a testament to that. You can actually work it through. Like a lot of people just see it as straight black and white. You done fucked up. It's over. Done. There's no way to fix it. And some people really feel like that, and some people mentally just can't get over it. But it is possible, depending on where you at and your relationship and what type of person you are. You may be able to make it through, especially if you're the type of person that kind of has some form of understanding, because you're gonna have to have some piece of understanding to get through it. Because if you just keep judging them and badgering them about it, they're gonna just be like, I should have might as well did it. Like, why the fuck am I even trying to do? I ain't did shit in 6 months. I ain't get no pat on the back. I ain't do fuck it. Fuck this whole shit. I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. You think I'm doing it anyway? Why even try to fix it? You know what I mean? So if anybody is out there and they thinking about, giving somebody a second chance, just understand that you have to put yourself in a position to be actual vulnerable. Treat them as if you do trust them, and be ready with your finger on the trigger to clip them at the minute anything happens that's going against it, because once that happens again, it's a wrap. This is their behavior, and you might need to see them 5 years from now when they turn into another human being or grow up or something. But right then and there, I don't think they would have enough time to really get, psychologically adjust themselves to stop doing that to you. And that's my personal take on that. And I'll say,
But I also feel like you have to want to not cheat. You have
exactly,
to want
exactly,
to be with that person that you're with.
yeah,
You have to want to grow with that person. If there's certain idiosyncrasies that you don't like about your partner, and you're not strong enough to have a conversation, but you're weak enough to go to another person, and you don't know what that other person may have or what they may give you, and you're gonna go right back to the relationship like nothing wrong, like you didn't just do what you just did. That's not badgering. You have to be accountable for what you did. It's not so much of a, beating over the head with it. And that's the main reason why I feel when someone cheats and you stay, you can't just keep dragging that and be like, oh, well, I stayed because you said you cheat on me and you ain't that. That's badgering.
Yeah.
But if you actually get yourself together and it's just like, you know what? I know for a fact that I wouldn't do this to you. And even though it would have been a touchy, testy conversation, I would have rather have the conversation with you than to find out that you slept with my best friend and you was doing that for 3 months.
Yeah, that's
That
a
could
little
have been a
crazy.
conversation that we could have like at least built on. And yeah, the feelings would have been like a touch and go, but I would have rather have that conversation with you than to find out you've been eyeing my homegirl for like a minute. And if that's what you really wanted, you could have been with her. You know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
I can guarantee you, soup to nuts, you can have like you can love your girl to infinity, but how would you feel if she was eyeing your homeboy? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, true. You would feel some type of way.
And plus, you wouldn't want her to be like, well, when I was talking to Daryl listens to me, and I'm not understanding why you can't be more like Daryl. To see,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it can't just be one sided. I feel like a lot of this applies both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And this is, I feel like it's just me that sees like both sides of the same coin, because I just don't think that it's all on the women. It's on the men too,
No, yeah,
because you
it's
can't
shared.
be feeling on my friend and like trying to get with my girl, and you actually do get with her, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want me to be on your homeboy's forehead and doing you know, all kinds of things with the who's a wise in it or whatever, because you're gonna feel disrespected. And plus, that's your boy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there has to be some kind of boundaries and some level of respect somewhere.
Definitely, definitely. You're absolutely,
But if you
absolutely correct.
rather just, okay, I cheated, I apologize, let's move on. All right, then that's the kind of man that you are. Just know that there are some other things there that you have to really iron out within yourself before you could really move forward and actually have someone that's loyal to you, because you have to be loyal to yourself.
Exactly.
And the more that you deny that healing, that emotional healing from whatever trauma that you're subconsciously don't want to open up or really face, you're really denying yourself true love for yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
And
I've learned that hard lesson so many years ago. So it's just a factor of when you have all of these life experiences with great people and you know you're the common denominator as far as the fuck up, you have to get yourself like, why am I always fucking up?
exactly, exactly. And box 6, box 2, do y'all have anything to say on the topic? I want to make sure everybody get a chance to speak. Um, Ben, what's up with you over there? Because I like to hit the all button, and I get to booting people off the panel if they're not interacting or, what's what, or participating. Just because I don't know how to tell the difference between the foreigners and all that, so I be dropping people off top. But if y'all got something to say and communicate, then cool. All right. So we go on to the next part of the book. So in the same chapter, Truth About Cheating chapter, the King Fyz Perspective book. In the book, I say, if a man fully submits to a woman and does whatever she's saying, caters to her, you will lose her interest and become more like her child than her partner. So that's what I say in the
What
book.
was that?
In the book, I say if you fully submit or cater to a woman, you will end up losing her interest because you'll become like more like her child or puppy than her actual partner. Like, do you believe that's true, or do you not think that? Like, what's your opinion on that perspective? Because that's how, as a man, I'm 43 years old, and that's what I have seen a repetitive cycle of that behavior. So I know firsthand that this is what normally happens, but I just want to know, is that normal across the board? What's your perspective on that? Like, are y'all uninterested once y'all know everything about a man and can tell him to do whatever, whenever? Like on some coming to America shit.
It would be nice for you to take some initiative. I ain't trying to be your mom.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's like, and it's funny because
Yeah,
I
she took the words right out of my mouth with that one. Yep.
exactly. It is like, it's like, it'd be like, babe, can you get me this? Babe, can you do this? Babe, can you, it's like, if you do everything she, babe, can you, and you change every hairstyle, change every clothing item and all this other stuff, you done lost her. You lost her. You know what I mean? But it's like, in that statement, I just wanted to hear a female's opinion.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
She didn't say anything when I was on the phone.
Oh, all right, she was talking to somebody else. All right. But so what you
I'm sorry, I was talking to somebody else.
Oh, all right, that's cool. So do y'all agree, or y'all disagree with me on that? What's up, babe? Box 2. You agree or disagree on that? Huh?
So what is that?
No, I was asking, do you agree or disagree that once you fully cater to a woman and do everything she asks you to do, you end up losing her and you turn into a puppy or a child instead of a partner?
Man, this is not that kind of man.
That's why it doesn't go on what you're asking.
Uh-huh.
If you change the shit, you should change it about yourself. Don't be like, right? Little catering and shit like that. I don't think it's nothing.
Yeah. So y'all, so you
tell me I can't go out at night and do all that.
Uh-huh.
Pretty different.
Yeah, and that's what's included. What's up, DJ? That's what's included, like catering to all that, like whatever the fuck she's saying, you just doing it. Like I feel like that's how you gonna lose it. Who that is with that music? All right.
Like a lot of times you be getting tested.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Mr. Rubber Boy and shit.
See, they be doing the simp test on you. Do the simp test on you, like, let's see if you're strong enough to stand up to me. You can't even stand up to me. How you gonna stand up to the world and shit? So I get it. So I feel like y'all agree, but not wanting to say y'all agree, but I feel like y'all do agree. Is that safe to say? I feel like you're trying to stay neutral, but really y'all agree. I feel like that's an answer that if y'all answer, y'all might mess up y'all whole game. So y'all kind of like, nah, I ain't gonna say that because I do want a nigga to do everything I say, but honestly, you don't want every single 100% thing to be done that said. What's up, Coco? What's up, Coco? Join the conversation. Right now, we're talking about the Truth About Cheating chapter of the King Fyz Perspective book, ebook, and audio book available now. It's on discount today, so Cash App, Apple Pay, however you want to get it, debit, credit, holler at me, DM me. I'll send you a special price. But basically, we were just talking about if you cater to a woman fully and do whatever she say, you kind of turn into a puppy or a child instead of a partner. So I was just asking, do y'all agree with that philosophy? Or do you think a man could just go ahead and do every single thing a woman tells him to do and still get the same amount of respect? You agree? Cool. All right. So I got that right in the book. All right. So at least we unanimous on that. The next question is, does modern love require maintaining some type of mystery or control to be respected? Or is that just emotional manipulation in disguise? Like, is it emotional manipulation in disguise to have like some type of mystery or whatever? Or do you need mystery in a relationship to actually maintain it? Yeah, catering can be good. like a limited amount of catering, not every single, not like Coming to America. I'm talking about Coming to America's level catering, like bark like a dog, all that. But
A little bit of mystery.
yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a little mystery. Like, I don't want to know everything that you're going to do. Like, surprise me a little bit.
Exactly. And what you think, Em? All right, he doing something, but I feel like mystery is definitely important in a relationship because I feel like as a man looking at it, when I see it when I think about women, I look at it like y'all see us as video games, right? Now, once you beat the video game, you're not that interested in it no more because you know all the boards, you beat all the boards, you played it already. But a video game that you can't seem to beat, you'll play that joint all the time because you've never seen the end of it. It's always something to discover. And I feel like y'all are more into spontaneity and surprises. That's probably why y'all into texting and stuff like that. Y'all like surprises and gifts and not knowing what's going on. So I feel like that spontaneity and stuff like that is actually mandatory in order to maintain somebody because once they learn you, it's over. They don't want to play that game no more. I done mastered you. Keep it pushing. I can manipulate you in any direction. This is not even fun anymore. Is what I feel like y'all be thinking. Y'all agree or disagree?
I told you I took that man out. I told my up, down,
You agree?
sideways,
All right,
diagonal,
cool.
or
Trini, you agree too?
diagonal, for real.
All right. So, the next question is a female's dominance. This is a good question too. Is a female's dominance in a relationship a natural reaction to a weak male leadership, or am I sexistly oversimplifying a partnership? Like, am I oversimplifying a partnership by saying that, or is it a female becomes dominant because a man is not paying the bills or doing all the stuff he's supposed to do on the man's side? What you think? It's up in the air for anybody to answer. We got one, and we got one more question to go. So we got one more question to go, and we done with the question.
Oversimplified.
Oversimplified?
Yes. Because I could have come into the relationship a very strong woman, so that has nothing to do with your lack thereof. True. That's just how I came into the relationship. Gotcha. Now, if you step up and take the lead, I should submit. Tone it down a bit. Because I have someone that's going to take the lead and I don't have to take on all that weight. Exactly. But it's oversimplified because I could have come into the relationship this way.
True.
Has nothing to do with any other man that I've dealt with. Just been thugging it for a while, baby.
I agree with that because I think it's like, I feel like it's 50-50 because it's like, all right, some women are hard up because, they got a man that's being lazy and got her doing the things that he should be doing, like taking out the trash and making all the money and all that type of stuff, which would make her like kind of like not really respect you like that and kind of start acting like a dude, like, yo, go do this, and start treating you all crazy. Which is, I feel like that's what happens sometimes when people don't respect their mate because they not stepping up to the plate. They either not hitting it right, or they not doing the financial side properly, or they just not like fixing the car or doing, whatever the man list of things is to do. So I feel like that can play a part. But some people could be just had a rough life and they just grew up that way because they maybe didn't have a mom or a dad, or, didn't have anybody that cared about them in a certain way that where they just, they just became that kind of person. So I would say, I think we all agree. on that.
I am the latter. Lost both parents before I was 15, and was
sorry to hear
all
that.
the way up until then. So
that.
When I did meet somebody, it was like, nigga, I don't need nobody.
Like, what? Like, I don't need none of this. Like, I'm perfectly fine already. Right. That's funny. That's like I was talking about earlier about like men that don't have their fathers tend to debate a little more than men that did, because it's kind of a female trait that's adopted from being around women like that. And it's funny because that is actually what happens. However you was raised is going to affect how you handle your relationships, and it's not until you run into somebody, um, especially for a female, until she run into a strong enough man to not feed into that emotional side as much, it's always going to be an uphill battle because if you feed into every emotion that a female has, it's like you basically turn it into her. Y'all just gonna be having cat fights all day. Somebody gotta be the bigger person to shut it down and be loud and be like, look, it ain't even that deep. Like we ain't even gotta keep doing it cool. You can have it. The peace is better than winning the conversation because ultimately, whatever you're debating about usually ain't nothing big. It's usually like food or some random something that ain't that deep. So it's like just let her have it, even if you know whatever. Say what you say. She don't get it. She don't get it. Cool. Just keep it pushing. Fellas, don't be wasting your time arguing. It just makes you look crazy and turns you into a weak man. So don't spend your time indulging on that. The next question, if nobody has anything else on that, the next question is somebody just sitting back and enjoying the show and not giving out the validation to a female when she's doing something, is that being confident, or is that like a silent war between the sexes? Like, is that a silent war, or that's just being confident? You know what I mean? Appreciate you. Is that a silent war, or is that being confident if somebody does something like that? Like, I personally feel like I kind of do feel like it's a war. I do feel like it's a war, and I also feel like it's kind of a game, because what I understand is that it's almost like the more you ignore, the more of that you get. It's almost like it's even more attention to get your attention. So it's like if a girl is standing in front of you and she pull her pants up and you ain't paying attention, she probably bend over. You ain't paying attention, she'll continuously, think do different things to, you know, get your attention. And the more you ignore it, the more it intensifies in order to get the attention. So do you feel like that's just a person being confident, or do you feel like that's manipulation, personally?
Mm. Now repeat it again. I just want to make sure I got it.
All right. So I'm saying is withholding the validation, withholding the validation of a female. Like if she look nice and you don't say nothing, or she bend over or whatever, and she trying to get your attention, you ignore her. Is doing that on purpose you just being manipulative, or is it just you being confident and just be like, I'm the shit, I don't care about what you do? Like, how do you feel like that person is manipulating the other person, or they just, don't give a fuck?
I think it's manipulation.
Yeah.
I don't think it's confidence, because if you're truly confident, I mean, yes, you do want acknowledgments from your significant other. Like, it would be nice to get those, but like, I'm really not pressed about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't every time I bend over, ooh, baby, you fine. Like, I'm not gonna be tripping. I'm gonna move the fuck on. But that's just me.
Yeah. Because some boys, you should see the behaviors is crazy. Like, you could ignore some behaviors and it get a little crazy. It get a little crazy, especially if you at a party or anything.
What are you tripping for?
Be doing everything to get your attention. I ain't gonna front. I'll be doing that sometimes, and it is entertaining. I ain't gonna front. It's just like, watch this gonna happen because this person, I seen it the whole time and enjoyed it.
Every now and then, if she do it or you may do it to, fuck with a person's head just because it's funny at the time type shit,
Yeah.
Then it's cool. But like, if every time you stub your toe or bat your eye hole, like, chill out. It ain't gotta be every time. Every single time. Come on now. That's just too much.
Exactly. I don't know what people be on. People be on a whole nother planet with it. But I definitely appreciate y'all. And that was the last question. We still talking and vibing and all that, but that was the last question of the book. But I do want to know, how do y'all feel about overall the perspective of the book? Because that's not everything I talk about in that chapter, but it's in that category. So do y'all feel like my perspective is a fair perspective, or is it just like far out and I'm just batshit crazy for thinking like I think?
I mean, I don't think I missed that many questions,
No,
but
you didn't.
I don't I don't see that anything you're saying is crazy or far fetched.
Okay. Yeah, because I
There
don't.
was not one question where I was like, "What the fuck is this nigga talking about? Is he serious? He has lost his rabbit ass mind." No.
Oh, all right, yeah, because I've had people I've done discussions similar to this, and it was like they would treat me like Kevin Samuels out this joint. They just was like I was running on a outdated program and shit. Like, nigga, you just old. Like that shit worked back in the day when you was young, but the whole world has changed and nobody's on that time no more. So it is good to hear somebody. But then again, we kind of in the same age group, so I guess maybe the little kids
Right.
think
I was
differently.
finna say that. We're in the same age group, and when I talk to millennials, that's what I get.
Exactly.
You tripping. It ain't like that no more. You crazy. And I'm like, why am I crazy?
Exactly.
Why the hell ain't you don't learn new math and now I'm the problem? No. How you just gonna change the mathematical equation on me like that? That's not right.
Exactly. And that's so funny because I had I had that situation happen to me as well where somebody was like, "Oh, no, you know what I said? I said a man men are like dogs and women are like cats." And they like ripped my head off about that. They was like, "Yeah, well, some women is like dogs and some men are like cats, and you can't say that because then you got people that's you know, rainbow sexual and this and that. Hey, what's up, Dimples? And all that." And I'm just like, okay, I definitely feel
What is
like
that?
that metaphor
What?
makes sense. Like, I feel like men like attention. They want to be petted, they want to be fed, and they want to love and protect you. That's what a dog does. A woman, she wants to cover up her shit. We don't smell y'all shit. Y'all like to hide y'all shit literally and figuratively. Y'all like to be, bothered but not bothered at the same time. Y'all independent and everything else.
Hello.
So I feel like it's the perfect description, even though people don't like to be compared to animals. But I feel like it's perfect description. But they treated me like I was just the craziest person on the planet for even saying that comparison. It was crazy. I'm like,
Because you can't put people in boxes anymore. You can't do that. That is our thinking, our generation. You know,
okay.
we distinguish genders, and that's just it. It's it. Girl, guys, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we got here. That's our generation. They came along and they was like, I could be a rhinoceros, and that's what they are.
Exactly.
You know,
And they can identify
and we're
as
supposed
that.
to accept it and call them that. And I'm like, I'm not calling you a rhino. You're not.
And I can see you're not. Like, I can see you're not. I know you're not. Like, it's a guarantee that you're not.
Right. I can see the difference here. We're not the same. But no. So for us, it's different because we came up in a totally different generation.
Exactly.
So it's certain stuff and certain beliefs that we do hold and have that even though we raised them, they totally different, man. Totally.
Exactly. It's a whole nother different
chapter. Talking to them sometimes.
They on another page with it. They definitely on another page with it. And Dimples, what's up? What's up with you? What's going on with you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. You coming in on the tail end of the book club. I got equity in the
damn.
equity in the building. I'm gonna see if you want to pop up, but I don't know. I'm gonna open the floor. If you do, you can jump up. If not, don't worry about it. Ain't no pressure. Um, But yeah,
How's the family doing?
they doing good. They doing good. Everything going smooth. The kids getting big, getting into what they getting into. I'm just getting this book going, trying out some new marketing strategies and everything, and working on finalizing the other version of the book that I got going on. So I'm like amped and excited. And let me 1 second. Let me close down this YouTube live stream. All right, y'all. We gonna holla at y'all next month, the first Wednesday. Every first Wednesday of the month, I'll do a different portion of the chapter, different chapter of the book. Make sure you check out the King Fyz Perspective ebook and audio book available now in the description. The website is there. You can get the link to get the information to it and all that. But if you want to interact with me and get in on a conversation like everybody else, make sure you download Bigo Live and find me on there. Fyz Cast on there, FYZCAST, same on the gram as well. And the Bigo ID is King Fyz APCS. And I shall see y'all next time. Take care.